Have you ever felt that life is unbearably heavy? When every step you take is burdened with anxiety, fear, and loneliness. You're exhausted by the judgments of others, by failures that seem to follow one after another, by the feeling of being trapped in an endless cycle. But what if I told you that, right within your own heart, there lies an infinite strength, a source of peace that you don't need to search for anywhere else? Would you believe me? Today's video will be a journey to help you discover that very strength. It's a journey of inner silence, of the courage to let go of judgment, and of unconditional compassion. In every moment of quiet, in every gentle word, I will share with you profound philosophies from Buddhism and stories that may just change your life. Stay with me until the end, because this might just be the key to rediscovering the peace you've been missing for so long. 1. Letting go of excessive concern about others' opinions. In life, we often carry the weight of expectations from others, family, society, friends. This constant external evaluation can become a burden, making us strive to please everyone. In reality, this need for acceptance often leads us away from our true selves, because when we care too much about what others think, we're essentially handing over the keys to our happiness. Think about it. How many times have you given up on your dreams for fear of being ridiculed, or felt compelled to prove yourself just to gain social approval? This is like living a life that isn't really yours, trading authenticity for fleeting praise. A wise philosopher once said, "If you live by others' opinions, you'll never discover who you truly are." For instance, imagine you have a passion for art, but fear that others see it as unstable or lacking a future. You give up on your dream and pursue something you don't love just to appear successful in others' eyes. In the end, all you feel is emptiness and frustration. It's as if you're trapped in a shell that isn't truly yours, and happiness seems distant. Buddha once taught, "You are not what others think of you. You are defined by your actions and way of life." When you let go of the fear of judgment, you'll realize that true happiness doesn't come from society's approval, but from inner peace. Others can never fully understand you, so no one can know your journey as intimately as you do. This process isn't easy. Sometimes you have to accept criticism and judgment. However, the freedom that comes with releasing external pressures is a priceless reward. Remind yourself every day that you're living to achieve your own happiness, not just to gain the applause of others. Imagine a life where you no longer feel the need to prove yourself or worry about society's gaze. A life where you live by your values. Each day will feel lighter, more fulfilling, and truly yours. 2. The power of silence and self-control. Silence is not a sign of weakness. It is a testament to inner confidence and strength. Choosing silence means controlling your emotions and responding calmly to life's challenges. Silence is not merely withholding words, but an ability to regulate oneself, knowing when to listen and when to speak. Imagine a situation where someone insults you. The natural reaction might be anger or a desire to retaliate. But by choosing silence, you demonstrate patience and self-mastery. You don't let their words hurt you, maintaining your inner peace instead. This shows an incredible inner strength. You don't need to react loudly to prove yourself. There's a story of a monk who, when insulted, simply smiled without responding. When asked why he didn't react, he calmly replied, "If someone offers me a gift that I do not accept, it still belongs to them." The monk's silence serves as a reminder that strength sometimes lies not in speaking up, but in maintaining calm amidst provocation. Silence is not avoidance. It is a space for understanding both yourself and the situation. By choosing silence, you gain time to reflect, analyze, and respond thoughtfully. This is especially important in moments of conflict or difficulty. In those times, silence can help you see the core of the issue, allowing you to make better decisions. Silence also fosters respect for others and the world around you. By being silent, you listen more fully to others. Instead of rushing to respond, you can understand their concerns and answer with empathy. Silence helps you maintain healthy relationships, as it shows respect not only to others, but also to yourself. The power of silence and self-control is the key to finding peace in life. When you're not swept up in immediate emotions, you'll find your heart calmer and your mind clearer. In a noisy world, silence is a precious quality, a mark of maturity and composure that not everyone possesses. 3. Embracing failure and risk as part of life. Life is a long journey, and it's not always smooth or easy. Along this journey, we can't avoid stumbling, failing, and encountering risks. But rather than viewing these experiences as negative, let's see failure as a part of our growth. Without failure, we would remain stagnant, never fully discovering our abilities and potential. Because it's precisely through moments of failure that we come to truly understand ourselves and learn invaluable lessons that success alone could never teach us. Failure can arise in various areas of life: work, relationships, finances, or personal connections. For example, someone might fail by losing a job they loved or experience a breakup that leaves them feeling lost and empty. Such moments feel like a heavy blow, bringing pain, loss, and sometimes even self-doubt. But if you look at failure from a different perspective, you'll find that it's actually an opportunity for growth and self-improvement. The story of Thomas Edison is a clear example. When inventing the light bulb, he failed thousands of times before succeeding. Yet instead of feeling discouraged and giving up, Edison saw each failure as a step closer to success. He famously said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that don't work." This resilient spirit in the face of failure was what ultimately allowed him to create inventions that changed the world. Similarly, everyday failures in life are also chances for us to learn and grow. Suppose you invest money into a project and don't see the expected returns. Rather than blaming yourself, ask, "What did I learn from this mistake?" You might realize that next time you need to research more thoroughly, have a backup plan, or choose options with lower risk. This is how failure makes you wiser and more resilient. Sometimes, people fear failure because they're worried about being judged or criticized. We don't want to be laughed at or looked down on because of our missteps. But remember, failure is not something to be ashamed of. In fact, it's proof that you had the courage to step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself to grow. When you face and accept failure, you become fearless, gaining the courage to pursue what you truly desire. There's a saying, "The only real failure is the failure to try." Those who have experienced failure understand that the pain of these setbacks is never in vain. Each stumble is a valuable lesson, an opportunity to evaluate yourself, recognize your strengths and weaknesses, and improve upon them. Only by daring to confront failure can you truly appreciate the meaning of success. So, if you're going through a difficult time, remind yourself that this too shall pass. Keep moving forward because there's still a long road ahead. Remember, failure is not the end. It's merely a chapter in the story of life. And when you learn to embrace it, failure becomes the greatest teacher, helping you grow and go further in life. 4. Accepting life's uncertainty. Life is an unpredictable journey, and uncertainty is an essential part of it. We often try to control everything, from work and family to our own futures. But in reality, no matter how hard we try, we can never fully control everything that happens. Uncertainty can make us anxious and confused, yet it's also what gives life its beauty and richness. In Eastern philosophy, the concept of impermanence is often mentioned as a fundamental truth. Nothing lasts forever. Everything is changing every second. This idea may make us feel unsettled, but if we look deeper, we'll see that impermanence gives us the chance to live fully and without regrets. Because by accepting uncertainty, we come to value each moment, cherish what we have, and live wholeheartedly. Imagine someone who has lost a job they once thought was their life, or someone who has gone through the heartbreak of divorce. Initially, they may feel broken and lost, as if their world has fallen apart. But looking back, these experiences can be the catalyst that drives them to discover new possibilities, learn to stand up on their own, and even find happiness in life's simple pleasures. Uncertainty also teaches us flexibility and adaptability. When we can't predict what will happen, we're forced to learn how to adjust, change plans, and open ourselves to new opportunities. For instance, if you're facing challenges at work, instead of clinging to it with worry, you might see it as an opportunity to explore other directions. Perhaps this is the time to learn new skills, try a different field, or take time to care for yourself. Sometimes, uncertainty is life's way of opening doors we never thought possible. Uncertainty is also an opportunity to build resilience. When you face unpredictable situations, you learn how to stay calm and make wise decisions in challenging moments. This strengthens your patience, perseverance, and self-belief. Unexpected challenges no longer frighten you because you know how to face them with courage and clarity. Remember, nothing in life is guaranteed, and that's what makes it beautiful. When you let go of the need to control everything, you'll feel freer and lighter. You'll live each day with an open mind, ready to embrace surprises and learn from them. Uncertainty is not something to fear. It's a chance to truly live, to experience new things, and to explore the world around you. In the end, life is a long journey, and the most important part isn't the destination, but the lessons we learn along the way. Uncertainty will always be there, but you can choose to face it with courage, flexibility, and a spirit of freedom. 5. Practicing humility and self-love. Humility is a valuable virtue, allowing us to live harmoniously with the world and ourselves. When we embrace humility, we understand that we are just a small part of this vast universe. Perhaps you've encountered successful yet humble people, those who are always willing to listen and never see themselves as the center of everything. Such people often bring a sense of peace and approachability because they feel no need to prove anything to anyone. Humility enables us to recognize the value of others, respect differences, and appreciate the simple things in life. Imagine, for instance, that you're someone who constantly feels the need to outdo others, always comparing yourself to those around you. Life would be exhausting, a continuous race to gain approval and acknowledgement. But when you live with humility, there's no need to stand above anyone. You understand that everyone has their own journey and struggles, and your accomplishments don't need to be the biggest or most impressive to be meaningful. A story about humility that I'd like to share is about a well-known Zen master. He was a revered spiritual teacher, yet he never considered himself better than others. One day, a student asked him how to become a master. The Zen master simply smiled and said, "I am just a student on the path of life like you. I'm not the wisest, nor do I wish to be the best. But each day, I strive to live better than I did yesterday." This story reminds us that humility is also about accepting ourselves fully, with all our weaknesses and mistakes. Practicing self-love and forgiveness is essential. We've all made mistakes and had moments we wish we could redo. But there's nothing more painful than continually blaming ourselves. Offer yourself the same kindness you would to others. Embrace self-love and remember that those mistakes are part of your growth. When you live with self-love and humility, life becomes less stressful and more fulfilling. You no longer need anyone's approval to feel valuable. You'll know how to respect others and yourself, enjoying life's simple pleasures without needing fame or recognition. In this way, compassion grows within you, helping you become a more peaceful, kind person who others naturally want to be around. 6. The philosophy of impermanence. Impermanence is a profound truth about life, yet one that many struggle to accept. We often wish that everything in our lives could remain stable and everlasting. But when we look closely at the nature of existence, we see that everything changes. This isn't something to fear, but a reminder of life's transitory nature and the value of each present moment. Consider someone you once loved but are no longer close to, a job you were passionate about but have since left, or a joyful period in the past. These are all reminders of impermanence. When you realize that nothing lasts forever, you stop searching for absolute stability and instead learn to cherish the present. A striking example of impermanence is the story of a Japanese man who survived the 2011 earthquake and tsunami. Before the disaster, he had everything: a happy family, a beautiful home, and a stable job. In an instant, all of that was gone. Instead of sinking into despair, he embraced the impermanence of life and began living more mindfully. Each day, he made an effort to live with gratitude and appreciation, knowing that everything he held dear could disappear at any moment. Understanding impermanence helps us let go, reducing the pain of loss and disappointment. It teaches us that everything in this world, from possessions and relationships to our own selves, will change and fade. Impermanence is not a curse, but an invitation to live more deeply. The Buddha once said, "Live as if today is your last." When we live with this awareness, we love more deeply, cherish every moment, and worry less about the future. Impermanence also brings a sense of peace because when we stop clinging to certainties, we are freed from fear and pressure. We no longer try to control everything. Instead, we learn to flow with the current of life. And each morning, we wake up feeling lighter, calmer, and ready to face whatever comes. Living with the awareness of impermanence doesn't mean we don't care. Rather, it means we cherish everything in its temporary beauty.